Hey, it's that time again. Great to see everybody. Old line, I can't see you. You can see me. Lily, somebody made a comment about that. About I don't know exactly what they were referring to, but it's nice to have you here. Thanks for showing up.
You know how
you
people
doing,
talk.
Lily?
It's great to see y'all. I'm doing good. Every time we do that countdown and start clapping, I feel so important and stuff. It just makes me smile.
Oh, doggone it. You're breaking up a little bit, honey.
I'm here, you guys. I'm here. Y'all clap for me.
Yeah, I know it was a bit corny putting it in there, but that's the way I roll, right?
I like it because I'm like, oh, wow, here we go. I'm somebody right now.
All right, while we're BSing, let's just throw up that news.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that. Been looking at a lot of stocks today. Been looking at runners that have been running for silly reasons, things running for good reasons. All right, let me open this up.
Market's a little crazy right now. I will say that.
I think this is going to be it. Yeah, okay. Let me get my share window. Oh, I think I better slow that down. I got it running too fast. I got that running because I record it every single day for your folks. If you guys watch my videos, I put this news in the video every single day, updated news, so that you can keep up with it if you haven't got time to. It's not all the news, but it's the juicy stuff.
I can't see it, John.
Oh, no, I'm still actually saving it. I wrote the code, and I had it going too fast. You'd have to speed read to actually see it. All right. All right, I'm going to bring it up now. Cross your eyes. You know you're going to get stuck here. Boink. Boink.
We already have a comment, John.
We already have a comment. You know what? I think I'm going to – somebody got here early. We're not used to anybody being here for 5 minutes. Let's see. I'm going to make this wider. We got it too thin right now, so let me make this 1200 for us.
Coding. Look at you.
Yeah. All right. Bink. There we go.
There you go. So yeah, Cletty was saying that PPCB 105% at the end of today.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to jump over to it right now, but
we'll look at it.
That is, let me see. Can you see them up there? Yeah, I think you can. I got a bunch of stocks here lined up, and right there is our PPCB. Yeah, they had news today. They have a drug. I've got the news here too, but it has to do with tumors. Their drug was very effective on tumors. So I can't remember all the news, but that's what it was about. And anytime I see news that's positive about beating the ass out of cancer, those drugs run. And that was one of the first things I studied when I got into cannabis stocks. I was looking at cancer drugs because every time I seen cancer news come out, they'd run for 3 days. Huge runs. People got excited about that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope it's true and they continue on and keep making groundbreaking discoveries with that because it's plagued a lot of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of new drugs out there. I mean, biotechs definitely are huge wins when they get a home run and find something. Definitely. Yeah. But there's such a long waiting game to finding it. You know, it's like trying to find gold. Yeah. You're digging and digging and digging, and it costs money for all that digging. These are research and developments, and I really hate getting involved with companies that have undetermined catalysts that are years down the road. So unless they're right on the brink of it, I normally don't have the time for it, to put it plain and simple.
The other side of that is those biotechs, because they are trying to do these things, they need funding. So a lot of the times you get offerings, stuff like that.
Constantly getting public offerings.
I love playing them, but what I say about biotechs, it either buy you a house or to put you in the poorhouse, one or the other. It's true.
True. Like I said, I like biotechs when they're on the brink of something. And, you know, these last 2 years with COVID, biotechs have been up there. I mean, there have been so many companies just with COVID. Now we got monkeypox, which has really brought our attention on health all the way around. So you've got a lot of companies now that are being looked at because we're now focused on those biotech companies. There's our link right there, folks, to catch us over at Discord. That's where Lily and I hang out. We are over there at Penny Boys, Penny Boys covers all the markets, but we have a section for OTC. And I got to tell you, there's a lot more attraction to the major markets than the OTC. We need some more people over there that are looking at the market that can tell us what they're watching. They can see what we're watching. There's a few of us over there, but we moved. We used to have our own place over there with the cryptocurrency, Titan Trading. And you talk about being a green thumb in a brown neighborhood. We just weren't right. Everything else was digital. So they moved us over there with Penny Boys. And we're looking for some homebodies. So come on over and join the party. We'd love to have you there.
I just like to talk about what's happening in the market. And so, I'm all over the place doing that every day.
Yeah. Discord is just my home. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I got my own Facebook page called Penny Pot Stocks, which I've had, since I started trading. It was just an accident. Started off with 14 people and we're over 14,000 now. But nice. Cannabis is definitely something I think is going to get hotter and hotter. I think lots of companies are going to be giants. And the great thing is that it's not all U.S. You got companies in Canada. You got companies in Israel. So even if America isn't moving as fast, she's building up pressure. When any of the laws pass in favor, and nobody really considers this, and this is one fact, I don't want to get too deep into it, but cannabis companies get no tax deductions. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars, literally, and they are getting no tax deductions. They're paying 100% tax. As soon as they get tax deductions, that's going to change the bottom line on every single company. All the regular deductions that every company gets. So if they're in the green right now, how much more are they going to be in the green when they finally get all those tax deductions? They're surviving right now without banking, without loans, without tax deductions, and doing hundreds of millions of dollars quarterly. We're talking quarterly. So these are companies that once they get the green light, oh my God, they're going to explode. And then we'll get the synergy from America getting over the border to work with Mexico and Canada and Uruguay. They're pulling away from us right now. But once the synergies kick in, we've got our MSOs, multi-state operators that have got lots of businesses in separate states, but they can't synergize them either. And once that borders are taken away, God bless, this is going to explode. So when you're looking at Curaleaf or Tilray, these are huge companies I think are going to be in the top 5 in the world globally. They're cheap right now. I mean, they're bloody cheap. They could get cheaper, but I mean, they're a great buy right now. For a long hold, if you just want to be patient for laws to change, that's where you should go. All right, I see we're done with the news 2 times through. That is enough. So there was our finish. Let's see. That's actually the final day. Yep, 110% on PPCB. Nice. Look at that, cheap, low price, 0042. Pin Current got everything going on for her here. Doesn't look like she's got any problems whatsoever. Float isn't too bad. You got about $500 million there. And there's the news. ProPank Biopharma reports significant effects of PRP against the tumor microenvironment. And I haven't gone through all that news there because it's normally more technical than I can absorb. But obviously it was good news. And the stock was running today over that. It was I do believe it was the #1 traded stock on the OTC market. Let me back that up. Come over here to the OTC. Go to one of my favorite pages, current market right here. You can use this page anytime through the day. Come over here. We want to see the ones getting the gains. I click all the stocks with the all. Click that more, and you've got the whole page. This is the biggest gainer on the entire OTC market. All 12,000 stocks right there. 9,900. Obviously, there are 2 zeros dropped when you go 10,000. So that had 5 zeros in front of it at the start of this day. And it goes by percentage gains and you scroll down. Well, I look over here. There's your trades. I don't know a lot of sites that tell you how many trades a company has. And to me, that information is gold. Yeah. You can see how much volume there is, but you don't know if it was 2 people, 100 people, or 1,000 people that put that volume on the table. And the more people, the more price action. I mean, when I go to the movie theaters, if I don't know what movie to watch, whichever one has the longest line is probably the movie, the one that's getting the most attention, right? So that's what I do. I look for the ones that have the most trades. And right there it is. Ooh.
That's beautiful.
2,194 trades on this stock. She did almost 500 million shares. This is how much money she generated today, $1.5 million in sales for this stock. And she's still at a very low price.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the number one traded stock on the OTC market with the highest gains. Your next one would be Hippify here, but that's at $14. It was at $7 when the day started. It's at $14.80 now. They had some sort of merger as well. I did look at it, but not being a penny stock, I didn't focus too much in on it for us. But this is a great page. You can come over here any time of day except between 9:30 and 10, which I know that's really when you would like to have it. But there's a 15-minute delay on this, and then there seems to be even a skosh more than that. I normally don't see this page pop up until about 5 minutes till 10. But when I get over here, almost all of them are 1s, 2s, 3s. That's it. Anybody that has an 11, that's an early runner. That's one that's catching 4 times as much attention as anybody else. This gives you a head start to go over there, check the news, check the disclosures. If you need to, run over to Twitter, check the tweets, see what's going on. And then, of course, check the charts. There may not be anything going on, but the charts are set up for a run. You can just see it. I mean, they're right at there, and their bars have just gotten bigger. Who needs information? The chart's all you really needed. So this is a great place to start your morning, and you can come over here any time of day and check this out and see what's going on.
Yeah, I love using that site. I use it all the time.
Let's see here. We got any questions? No. All right.
I also use Twitter too, John.
Oh, I love Twitter. I honestly do. Twitter, it's not like I count it as 100% accurate, but they're great leads. I don't even know what to look for until I go there and they say, Mr. Cottrell is now doing this. Oh, Mr. Cottrell, I got a keyword now, or something.
Exactly.
So I love Twitter. As a matter of fact, sometimes I just go over there browsing just to see what's up. Who's talking about what? And it is amazing how many stocks I see. There is no news. There is nothing going on but technicals, low floats, tight squeezes, all these things you can't read in any news press or filing. And enough people are there on Twitter seeing that just that in itself is enough to make that stock move. And I see it all the time. You really want to pay attention to it because it happens over and over and over again. A stock that just fell into my lap, it was brought to my attention on Twitter, as a matter of fact, by one of my followers, T. Rick. He's also a loyal subscriber to my YouTube channel. Thank you, T. Rick. I appreciate it. He brought this company, NCRA, to my attention. I put a tweet out. He told me about it. I went and read up some on it, and it was like, oh, I like what I'm reading. These are the bullets I came up with. It uplisted to the NASDAQ August 11th. Has revenues over 80% quarter over quarter from 2.8 million to 5.2 million. Produces land-based recirculated aquaculture systems for fish farming. It's pools of fish, if you will, on land. They're not in ponds, they're not in the ocean. It's a lot like shrimp. If you know the company SHMP, they're growing shrimp in large vats, if you will. And both companies have conquered the problems of the ammonia in the water, removing the solid waste from their poop, getting all that out. And they're producing 80% more fish than fish farming is doing. And they plan to expand here into the U.S. Now, I was looking at this company. They've got some information here. They are rising right now. Their revenues have gone up. They are coming to the U.S. Here's a couple pictures here. This is what they look like. They say these are real easy to set up because there's very little work you got to put into the land, very little pre-structuring. So they can set these up quick. They've got big ones like that are set up. In China right now is their big source of income. 380 sets in this city, 20 sets, 80 sets, 65 sets. And they give you a lot of reasons why this is going to be successful. And if you know anything about shrimp, the company SHMP, it's the same reason. We got to get away from the pollution. You got to get away from all of that stuff. And this is healthy. They've got the fact that unlike cattle, you've got problems raising cattle. just their farts alone supposedly hurt the ozone. So you don't have problems raising fish. They need less food. They need less care, less resources to produce more protein. That is clean. So this is a company I see going to grow, especially if they can get set up over here in America. I think shrimp, fish. Now, right now they're growing, is it trout? I think it's trout is their primary fish. But this is a link to Viral Stocks. They've got a lot of information over here, and this is where I got this information. This is my initial contact point for this company. But the company looks good. Just getting on the NASDAQ. They are making good revenues. They're growing at a strong clip, and they want to get into America and start setting up over here as well. And they set up real fast. These things don't take long to set up. So I like this company. It's just something personal that I saw today that you may want to take a look at.
Also, I was notified. So Insider Financials they're also all over this one. And
really?
Insider, yeah. They sent me it this morning to let me know about their ticker.
I didn't see that they were into it. We're on the same boat. We're on the same street. They look at the same sort of stocks I do. I really respect their research.
Oh, they're fantastic. I love them.
Yeah, and they're free, just like us. They're free. You got to love people that don't charge you for information, especially in an age where everybody's getting rich off information. Did y'all catch this stock yesterday? GZIC. No. She had a run, but she did pull back, and she's pulled back right now. And I think that's a great opportunity. I have a lot of hopes for this company. They had news come out yesterday. This company works in 5G, 6G with interactive communication. So what they did here is they made a deal with the Texas Rangers, the entire team, and they are bringing in-house Wi-Fi to the stadium during the games. So everybody, when they come there, they can log into a in-house secure place where they can get all the information about the game, food discounts, specialty items, and maybe someday close-ups of what's going on in the game, all that sort of stuff. Well, the big thing is it opens up advertising and sponsorships to a captive audience. And anybody in that local city can put ads into this. Well, this had a big jump yesterday, and I expected it to, but not until after I saw it, honestly. I saw the news at about 8:30 in the morning and didn't think anything about it. I put my money into another stock. But this is one team in Major League Baseball. How many teams are on the Major League Baseball? How many teams are in football? Every team. And here's the thing. Not only does this company make money from the ads and the sponsorships, because that's how Facebook and a lot of companies make money, just providing a venue for advertisers. This company and the stadium, the team, Texas Rangers, they're going to get some of that sponsor money too. Every team wants an extra stream of income. And if they can bring it in by loyal fans and the community, I think it's going to be hot. I think when you do the math and figure out how many teams there are and how that is going to catapult into big revenues, I think that they like to call themselves Green Zebra. So that's what we're going to call them. Green Zebra. I think Green Zebra is going to go a long way. I think they've got a hot product here. It's already working. They're already in effect immediately. This isn't something that's going to happen. The Texas Rangers have already done the deal. They're incorporating it right now. And I think it's just going to move from team to team to team to team. And I don't know if anyone else is doing this yet. So this could even be a first mover advantage.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. And I was not following this one. So I'll be checking into that one, especially since it has a room for expansion. That's what I like.
Another stock I just saw today, actually, it was the warrant that caught my attention. The warrant was running stronger than the actual company stock was. This is Pono Capital. They had news come out today of a merger. Airwinds Technologies, an air mobility platform company, announced a signing of a definitive agreement for going public via a business combination with Pono Capital, a NASDAQ-listed company. And, that's great, merger news. But, if you can learn just a little bit more, it can make it exciting for you. This is good. Let's make it exciting. I came down here to figure out what it was the company did. What's Airwinds do? Well, they've got something called Cosmos X Trismo. Well, let's just show you what that is. This is what it is. As a matter of fact, I'd rather show you this one. Let's stop that.
I want to see that one.
No, I got a better one. I got a better one. This one right. Where'd you go? There.
Blow it up, John. There you go. What? Oh, I saw this the other day.
It's a motorcycle hovercraft.
Hovercraft, yeah.
Yep. Now, this is not real. They do actually have some real footage of it at a racetrack. It's real short. I don't know why they didn't give us more. I think they're still working on it, folks. I do not think it's a finished product on the market yet. I could be wrong. I haven't deep dived into this, but come on. This is hot. This is new tech, taking it exactly where everybody wants it. A personal device that you can sit on and just go wherever the heck you want.
So I did see that and kind of checked into it. Didn't realize it was even trading. I didn't look for the stock yet, I guess you'd say. Anyway, I saw that they were going to like start them out, possibly start those out at like 60,000 a piece. And that's a lot. That is. So I think they're going for
the bikes themselves. I think they're talking about the stock.
No. The actual product.
60,000 a share. Well, maybe they do have a product finished.
One can hope. So,
all right, let's see what the actual company themselves did today on that news. Oh no, Capital. Bloody hell. Not even a percentage up. And it's a SPAC company. Now, maybe the deal hasn't closed yet. You know, a SPAC is a $10 share. When you buy a SPAC, it's $10. You normally get a warrant with it or a half a warrant for $11.50. They charge you. But your share is worth $10 until the company makes a deal. This company has no business. They were a SPAC company. They were waiting for a deal. And your shares are never worth any more than $10. They're never any less than $10 until they make a deal. And most people don't know this. But if a SPAC does not come up with a deal in a limited time, 18 to 24 months usually, all the investors get their money back, but a smidge, just a small smidge for banking fees. But you get all your money back if they don't make a deal.
Except for the warrants.
Except for the warrants. That's right. And most people don't know that. And on the other hand, too, you can sell your shares and keep your warrants. So, you know, you don't have to get locked in. But it looks like it is still not a closed deal. They haven't actually closed it. It's still hovering at $10. Once it closes, though, see, it still says shell there.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've closed the deal. What was that, a letter?
It could be in tender.
Announces signing of the definitive agreement. So once it's signed, I guess there's a few more stages to get it into the system and locked down and then actually on the market. And that's when we're going to see a jump. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of exciting.
We could actually, you know, if the news does not travel around and people are following this, if there's no hype, you could even see the price drop once the deal is made. It could happen, but it also presents opportunity.
And this is where you really need to have some. Now, I'm thinking of this more as a long hold. It could have a good, strong bounce. I really have no idea. But this is, like I said, it's the sort of technology that fits exactly with what we all want. Something small, portable that we can sit on, not stand on, and is going to be easy. Probably going to get there one day. I mean, it's not too far away. And somebody's got to be the leader.
I agree. But here's the thing. I play SPACs a lot. I play warrants a lot. Been doing it for a while now. So not very many that I have invested in or traded did not fall below the $10. There's a lot of them that did.
You mean initially after the excitement?
One, for instance, is like Fisker. Fisker, when they merged, they were called SPAC, SPAQ, and they merged to Fisker, FSR, and it dropped down. I want to say it took some time. Of course, there was pops. Absolutely. It ran.
Right.
But it dropped down to, I want to say, the 7s back then. And I think we've revisited that area here recently, actually. So good companies doesn't mean they're not good. It's just
and this
you'll
is
probably
the
have
magic.
an opportunity.
And that's the whole point to why we always say, don't buy everything you want in your first buy. If you're doing a long hold or even a long swing, you don't know what the market's going to do between now and when you sell. Chances are it's going to fall sometime. Wouldn't you like to be able to take advantage of that? If you have everything bought, now you got to know how much you want. Do you want $1,000? Do you want 1,000 shares? You got to have a plan and then enact that plan. You can see a nice price now. You think it's going to go up, but who the heck knows? Get 25% of what you want. Oh, next week it fell. Like she says, down to $7 and you bought your first load at 10. Aren't you glad you still got 75% more you can buy?
More.
Yeah. And you build a position. You build a position by getting the best prices along the road until you get to where you want. So yep. I think this is one of those type of companies.
I will say that the warrants, if it's good or has a lot of hype like that, if it starts catching on, your warrants will do better when it comes to if the price was to drop. The warrants usually only drop so far and they hold because there's a lot of people that really believe or really like this company and they're buying the warrants. So
yeah, I think most of us overlook the fact NASDAQ stocks, New York Stock Exchange, even penny stocks, mostly usually have warrants. And as you can see there, just because the company isn't moving doesn't mean the warrant isn't.
That's right.
And if the warrant is low, man, sometimes you get some huge pops very quick out of these.
That's right. And they'll hold it because instead of the company going up today, the warrant went up, right? Because you got a lot of people saying, okay, could be something here. I'm going to grab at these low prices and they'll hold that bottom, so there it is. And it'll hold up better as it, builds in news and revenues, whatever it is.
Right.
Also, you have a question from Joel.
Yeah, Joel, I did not grab any. Did you grab any, Lily?
No, I didn't even know about it until you told me, John.
Yeah, as I said, I saw the news. I posted the news. I shared it. And maybe it's because I'm not into sports, but I'm an idiot. This company's GZIC reminds me of CMGR. CMGR hires celebrities to do influencing. And every time they hire one, the stock jumps. Every time. That's why I say put that ticker on your news watch list. Every morning, see if there's news for CMGR. See if there's news for GZCI. IC. These are companies that are going to be making deals with big teams or big celebrities. There was one celebrity, it went 300%. Another celebrity, it only jumped 30%. Doesn't matter. Every celebrity gets a bounce. And that's what I think is going to happen here. And what happened yesterday is I overlooked it and I put my money into a bankruptcy watching the bounce on that rather than this one. Bad move.
It happens.
Now I know. This is another one of those companies. I'm going to look for their news each day. I've got a list here and I see if anybody has news coming out on those tickers because I know they highly react to news presses every time they come out. So I'm not going to miss it. That's where I know I'm going to play because they just have a record of always bouncing when their news presses come out.
Yep. We got another question from Jay Pong.
Hey, Jay.
AVCT bottom is supposed to be 16 cents. And there's a buyout coming for it. Can you guys check this out? So Jay's saying the bottom is supposed to be 16 cents. And you never know where the true bottom is. We have to see where the market likes it. And then it still could go lower. I don't know what's going on. I think we have discussed this one before.
Well, AVC, it's been over at Discord. We've been talking.
Then we've traded the mess out of it for sure.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
Excuse me. She had a lot of activity right there.
Yes.
So in the last couple of days, I can see the comments over on our Discord group, people talking about this and watching it. And she came down. I mean, now is this this is a OTC stock, and she's acting in the tradition of OTC stock. She was under the 200, busted it hard, had a party, and has come back home. I mean, that's all you can say. She had a low bubble back here of 13 cents. And right now, as you said, she's just over 16 cents.
Well,
this looks, now I do believe there was, right. He did mention some sort of news. It's slipping my mind.
Yeah, we can check and see I can't remember either. When plays like this happen, we just play the volatility. We're playing the momentum. We're taking the trades. We're in and out. But we have been playing this one. I had a
9-1.
buy order set for 16 cents, Jason.
We got an 8K that came out today. That doesn't explain the runs yesterday.
No.
Let me see. This is just a departure of directors and certain officers. Let's see if there's anything else here. We had one on the first. That one could be the point of what's going on. Entry into material definitive agreement. That be it.
Yeah.
American Virtual Cloud Technologies entered into a distribution agreement with Northern Securities, blah, 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 for $14 million. I think that's what I'm reading here.
And that probably caused the run that we were playing.
So they've had some money come in. And what are their financials right now? Yeah, okay. So this has been running, as you saw, for a couple of days. All right, we got no financials available here. Where is this company from? America. We should have financials here. Oh, the NASDAQ. This is not
it was on the
OTC
NASDAQ.
stock.
Okay.
So we've got a situation here
it.
being 16 cents on the NASDAQ. And there's more to it than that. I keep saying they have minimum price requirements on lots of things. Your market cap can't fall below a certain number. Your
investors too. You got to have so many investors that's holding.
Yeah, you've got to have so many investors in your company. So I don't know how many danger zones they got right now, but that's one of them. You can't stay below $1 for too long, or they'll pull you off of the market, and it costs $75,000 to get up here. They're going to charge you that again, and you got to go through all the paperwork. Nobody wants to do that. We just had NBEV get tossed down. And what was that other company that actually bounced the other day?
We were playing it. I can't remember, John.
Right. There was another company. And NBEV just got thrown down off the NASDAQ today. They got thrown down to the OTC market. Their price was too low, but they're also going bankrupt, which is why their price is so low. So they got to get this up over $1, or they're going to be on the OTC.
Or they're going to have to reverse split, you guys.
What is their share structure? Do they have? That's not share structure. Well, they've got 94 million outstanding. Not quite sure what their float is. Boy, if they had a reverse split, that would make it a really low float.
Micro, wouldn't it?
Yeah, micro float, absolutely. I have to buy order set for 16. Well, that's probably not a bad price there, Jay. I mean, that her low bubble. Now let's see how far back. That's 4 hours right there. Would that be a low bubble for the year? 13, 13 cents. It's a 52-week low bubble. I doubt she'll come back down there. Not with all the excitement that's probably coming in now. Our technicals, she's got a ways to go before she hits that 200, but all this volume, that's our technical sign right there. People are looking at it again. But taking lesson from the rear, we can see that this was watched for about 30 days here, and then after that, it was abandoned. So they definitely need to keep their nose to the grindstone and keep filings coming out, news presses coming out. Let's see what
currently it's on a downtrend. It may hold that 16 level, but you also could be putting yourself at risk if they have to do a reverse split or anything like that. So just kind of follow up with those things.
Yeah, looking at the 1 hour, I would say that she was going to continue falling. She actually does show more tendency to the lean downwards. You can see it's a slow fall, but she is falling here. The only thing that looks righteous is we got a crossover on our percentage price oscillator. That's a lot like the MACD, which is doing the same thing right now. They are both pushing up, and I am on the 5-minute. We can see our RSI is coming up as well. So there is a little bit of hope here, but that's about it. She needs a catalyst.
He's saying that they're trying to get bought out. They are selling the company. Jay, check into that, because if they're getting bought out, the market doesn't know it, because they would be buying it, be going crazy. So check into that. It could be rumors. You don't know. Just make sure and do your due diligence and just see where you're at. If you're confident in holding and playing. Me personally, I'll keep it on my radar because you talked about it, and I'll wait for them to come to me. When they come, I buy, I trade.
All right, Jay, we'll do some more diving into that.
Yeah, we'll have to
Obviously,
read up on it.
I'm glad to see you're doing your DD.
That's
I'm
good.
glad to see you're getting into that paperwork and finding those details, because if you can't see it superficially, there's normally a reason for what's going on. And if you've got your money invested, best time to do your research deep.
That's right. But I wrote it down, Jay. I put your name down. We're definitely going to read up on it and see what we can find as well. It's just going to take a lot more.
Another stock that you may want to keep your eyes on, because they got a lot of deals in the works and it looks like they're about ready to start closing them. DVLP. They've got audited financials, SEC reporting. They have 3 to 4 acquisitions they're working on right now. I've got a letter now. This came out August 19th. So that's like 3 weeks ago, but that's the whole point. The news came out about things they were doing and working on, which means we've advanced on that. So they tell us here, we're excited to announce we have, and before I show you that, I want to tell you they make no money. I don't know why it doesn't say Shell Risk or Shell Company, but they got no revenues whatsoever. We are excited to announce we've executed a letter of intent to acquire assets anticipated to provide sales in excess of $60 million per year upon completion. Definitive documents have been prepared and sent for review. There are 3 other acquisitions in progress. The first acquisition is worth $12 million a year. The second acquisition in place with definitive docs sent, which was projected to produce $25 million a year. And the third is working through preliminary tests for auditing and possible strategies around its completion by year's end. The pipeline of deal flow is very strong. We are comfortable in our ability to execute on our mission. These are profitable, high revenue producing assets, which require heavy logistics strategies to complete. Most are in the biotech, pharmaceutical, and medical tech related spaces. So you've got 3 to 4 acquisitions that are going to be making them over $100 million from zero.
Yeah.
So keep your eye on this company. Once they come out of being a shell company, even though it doesn't say it there, they aren't making any money. I think I can go there now since I've read the news. They got zilch annually and zilch quarterly. So, and they've got expenses. Of course, they've got expenses. So they need to be making money. They're doing nothing right now. So Golden Development Solutions could be popping up with some news. And as I said, the news really is where you want to see the catalyst, not on the charts. If you see it on the charts, you're a little late. It's always best to get to that news as quick as you can. I am going through news all day long. All day long.
Oh, yeah.
This site here is great for the OTC news. They got a little link right there for it. That's all it is news up at the top. You can just keep expanding it, and I just keep coming, and the newest news is always at the top. I used to go over to Globe News and PR News. They've got lots of news too, but it all comes here, and it's already sorted for me. This is only OTC news, so I really love it. Let's see here. We got any questions?
Yeah, we do.
Hello, Sand Tribe. Good to have you here, buddy.
Joe was saying on RXMD that he has a small position on RXMD.
Yeah, I was looking at RXMD. I don't have it up. It isn't one of the stocks I was zoomed in on today, but she has been having a push up. You can even see it in the 200 there. This is our 5-day trend. She had a big jump there. Boy, she was down here at about 2 cents and went to 4 cents. So you had a 100% jump there. Kept 50% of it, rode for a few days, took that 50% back, gave back 25%, and is now at about 60% from that original right there. Now, I've been having fun here, folks. I don't know how much you ever play with your Fibonacci's, but if you just poke, you always see me draw a line down here at the bottom, right there. Yeah. And then I draw a line up here at the top.
There you go. There.
And then I eyeball it, or you could do it mathematically, and I draw a line in the middle. And you always see me do that, top, bottom, middle. And I look for it to be above that middle line. I consider that a good place to be. Below it, I'm not comfortable. Well, this is the same exact thing, except they give you more lines that are algorithmically placed for you that you can pretty much count on. Yeah. They're not going to be perfect, but they are definitely in the zone. So if you have a hard time finding your supports and your resistances and looking for them, this is a good way to lay them out for you for the initial play to see if you're going to work out of this area. And you can see it pretty much has been relying on these. There's our 50% mark. That's a 76% down mark. and they're bouncing on them. And I didn't draw that line. It did. So that's a real neat tool. You don't have to use this funky teal color. You can make yours white.
I love using the fibs. And really Fibonacci and just researching into that, it's a lot to do with life as well. It's not just the stocks. There's more to it, you guys. So yeah, check that out if you've never used it before.
So there's your jump. That's on the 1 hour chart. That was on what day? The 31st, the last day of last month. She's been climbing ever since. She is rolling. That's what stocks do. She's sticking above her 50-day SMA here. Hasn't even come close to it. It's just here recently broke her 20-day SMA. Has just been floating on the 10 very reliably. I can see our price is still underneath that 10-day. We need to get that on top. You're not going to cross anything until you get on top of your 9-day. It's honestly a 9-day. I call it a 10-day out of bad habit. And going back 4 hours. So she was on a downtrend and she has broke that 200 and is definitely above it now. So
and look at that volume that came in, John.
Massive. Yeah. And it is getting lighter, but it is still a lot stronger than what it's been for most of the year. And our technicals are really strong. You can see everything has been pushing up here for the last 2 weeks, something like that, 3 weeks. So she is showing growth. She is showing potential. She's showing investor attention. So she's got all the right signs going right now. Let's check that information out on her. See what we can learn about RXMD. I know I read something here recently. Progressive Care. Of course, Progressive Care. I'm almost sure I talked about this. God.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a lot of stocks. So we got $500 million in the float. Progressive Care, I do believe they are in the health industry, pharmaceuticals, healthcare organization. Okay. Let's see what we got for news here recently. They had news just a couple of days ago. Progressive Care announced its completion of strategic transaction with NextPlat. And on the last day, which is when that run started, the last day of last month, enters into agreement with NextPlat. So here's a great example, right? This was on the last day, the 31st of last month, and then the completion. It was actually finalized on the 6th. Well, look here. If we look at the last 20 days, there's the announcement of the deal going to happen. And then on the 6th, which is right here, we had that big of a bounce. So that's the deal being completed. That's the deal being first brought to our attention. That's what happens. As far as I see, anytime the first virgin hearing is when you get your biggest bounce. They may have had a letter of intent after this, which would have had a bounce, and then the completion, even a smaller bounce. That's just the way I see it. The first time you hear something, that's the biggest bounce. After that, maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's a little coin toss. But she is climbing up. She's broke that 50-day here on your 30-minute, but she looks like she's working her way up. She actually looks like she is on an uptrend. She does look like an uptrend. Is that the way you see it, Lily?
Yeah, when you were in the other chart, I can't remember which one you were on daily, I'm not sure. But when you were looking at that one, nope.
Is this one?
It looked better. And I do like the fact that the last previous high it had right there on that 180 days you're looking at, 4 hour. The last high it had, it's broke over that. So I like that. If it can hold those areas and bounce from there, right there, John. If it'll start holding and bouncing in this and the next one's area and start consolidating there, then yes, I see more upside. If not, it's going to give some back.
Right there, well, that was her high. She definitely got above that, and she's fighting it. I mean, she did take it, but she set herself some new standards up here, places to go. So we got a crossover right now. The 20 is going over the 200. I like that. That looks good. And the technicals don't look bad. So, yeah, this is looking like things are going. The merge just happened. I mean, they just acquired this company, and I haven't done a deep dive to know exactly the synergies of the companies, if they're going to be working together or if this is a separate subsidiary that's going to do something else. But it just happened. So I would expect a news press to come out to give us clarity of what their plans are now that they're all done. Nice. Voyager Digital. Boy, we haven't talked about her in a while.
I actually forgot about Voyager. I'm so sorry. We deal with so many tickers, but yeah, let's revisit.
So what do we got?
Voyager.
Thoughts on Voyager Digital news on selling off assets soon? I did
don't like
add
that.
my position. Nice.
Yeah,
No, selling off assets. You know, I don't know. There was that one company, Retail Value, RVIC. They are going out of business. That's just the best way to put it. They're closing down shop, and they've got 5 years to taper off their business, and they're selling all their assets, and they're giving the money to us, the investors, based on how many shares you have. And the last one was on July 27th. They sold some property, and the shares were at 18 cents a share, and everybody got $1.16 for every share they owned. Woo!
That's impressive. That's probably the first time I've ever seen that. I have seen so many companies leave and say, oh, well, we're keeping everything we can. Yeah, and they do that. I
just looked at one yesterday, and they did say that there's a possibility that the shares could just be extinguished with no payment given in lieu of them at all.
That's right. That's right.
And that's the way I figure it. I mean, to find a company that's actually going to pay you before they got out of business, man. And now that stock is up to 42 cents, and they're still claiming we got more assets to sell, and we are going to be giving out more dividends. Plain and simple. They do say that. So if Voyager is going out, are they going to give the money to the investors, or are they just going to pay off their debts? Because don't they owe? Isn't that the whole problem? Wasn't there people that lost money on their sites?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if money was to go somewhere, it'd probably go to the victims before it went to the investors. I don't know. What's Voyager's ticker?
It is. I got it. Hold on. VYGVQ.
GV.
Okay. V is in Victor. Y is in Yankee. G is in Golf. V is in Victor. And Q is in Quebec.
Still got that Q. All right. That's the 4 hour. She's just rolling hard across the board. Where's she at now? 19 cents.
I don't see sell-off news here. Like it's not being reflected yet.
Oh, that's right. We're looking at the Q here. If you want to actually see, because I was going back long history, you've got to look at the old ticker for that. VOGV.
It would be
VYGV. Boy, oh boy, I hate tickers.
VYGV.
VYGV. Well, now that it's over here, Voyager Digital. No, it had an F in front of it. Right there. Is that the last day? That looks
right.
July 5th. That's about right then. And she was down here at 22 cents after falling from $20.
Yep.
Whoa. And what was she now? She is 19 cents?
19 cents.
Wow. All right. So they're selling off something. I didn't hear about that, but then to be honest, I did have my back turned on her.
Yeah, same. I do see a little bit of sell-off, probably today around 2 o'clock. But nothing major, nothing that looks scary just yet. But who knows what tomorrow brings. If that news starts circulating, you're going to see it reflected in the ticker for sure.
Yeah, I did hear they were going to be selling Coinify. Now that I did hear a while ago, which is really the last piece of news that they had was August 17th that they were going to get rid of that platform. I haven't heard anything else, and I don't see any new filings. Voyager's ongoing funding requirements for Coinify are up to half a million a month. So they're obviously probably getting rid of it just because of upkeep. I mean, if you don't have money, you can't keep up with stuff. And what are they selling it for? Let me see. An entirely owned by certain members of Coinify management for $2 million in cash. Gee whiz. So they've got four.
Sorry, if they're just selling Coinify and it's costing them money overhead to have it, then it could be a strategy move, part of their restructuring. What comes to be. So then I think you're okay. But they're selling like all assets. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I don't see anything newer here. I'd have to do some jumping around to see if there was any more information. Um, I honestly don't know where this one's going to go. Most bankruptcies, I believe, if they have any market value, if they have any branding value, they don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
The company used the bankruptcy as a way to solve debt, to get it in the right place so that they're not overwhelmed. They restructure and come back up, and boom, you're like Hertz. You're up there running again. And I think most companies are like that. This is a little different. A lot of people got hurt. There were security issues. People lost money. I honestly don't know. I don't know if Voyager is going to survive this or not. So I can't honestly say if I would invest my money into it.
All right, John, I'm going to share my screen.
Okay. I'm going to pop off of here and crush your eyes.
Jerome was asking about GFAI, and we're going to look at it real quick together. Hold on.
Great. Gives
All
me time
right.
to take a drink.
Yeah, go ahead,
Just
John.
coffee, folks. Just coffee.
All right, guys, bear with me. All right, do you see the chart?
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, great. All right, so GFAI. Now, we still have, and this calmed down, you guys. It has, which that's what I want it to do. So we have some acquisitions coming up. Gosh, 11 or 12. There's a bunch going on. And it's still supposed to close at the end of the month. If they don't close, it's going to tank. So the market's expecting something here. So as John was saying, this is just a 20-day, 1-hour chart. But this is how I mapped it out. And this was the trend. You see the gold lines. This is the trend we were in. And now it's broken down. So we've dropped out of that. So we go back to our fib extensions here. So I'm looking for it to maybe revisit a 31 area and hold there. I want to see it hold that. We've already done it one time. We've already touched it. We had some buyers coming in there right here in this area, probably on September the 2nd. It touched that area. And then the buyers are stepping in there. So 31.85 would be a good area to get in. 32.61. Around those areas is where I'd like to see it to hold. If it gives up the 31.14 and falls under that, then we could be coming down even lower to this 26 cents area where we first started from. I don't look for that, but we could. So what's happening here is people are forgetting about it. This news is taking a little while, right? So that you're going to have people that's stepping in, planning their swing trades, which is what's happening right now. And then you'll have more people come in as news comes, and you'll have momentum traders, your day traders, stuff like that. We'll get another spike, probably the 50 cents area. If it does not break this 50 cents, the play's done. It's over. Because, usually, like John said, the first initial pop is the best. So you might not even get close to that. We might only get this back to 40 and 45 cents. We don't know yet, depending on what happens with these mergers. How good is the news? So plan the trade accordingly. But if it'll hold right around that 31, 32 area, I like it. If it doesn't, then I would cut it after that. If it starts hitting the 29s and it's still lots of selling pressure, get out. But yes, I am planning a swing trade for this one because I think it has more to come. And we're still in the beginning of September. So if you maybe buy a little here and a little there and kind of do a swing and then set your stops once you're more than 50 to 75% in. So you don't take many losses. But
did you mention what the catalyst was, the news right now?
Yeah, I don't have anything currently. The thing that I'm following from back here from the beginning of September, right at the beginning of September, there's acquisitions. There's like between 9 and 11 Chinese acquisitions or something coming up.
Solar farming.
Yeah,
they're building out their 5th solar farm right now.
Yes, they have that too. I think they have the speculation that the bill that we just passed with our Inflation Reduction Act could possibly help this company as well. But we still have to keep in mind that this stock is sitting at 33 cents. Right. So that's under $1, you guys. So do understand the risk if you're playing this. Understand the risk if you are trying to swing it. The longer you hold it, the more risk there is. So I would not put the house on it. I would not put the farm on it. It's just a nice trade that has potential with the news coming, and I think it will build up to it. by the end of September. It'll build up to it. I plan on being out before the news even comes, to be honest.
What's
AI.
GFAI?
AI.
I think I was looking at the wrong news, hon.
Okay. Well, I
Guard
think that there
Force.
was.
Guard Force.
Yeah,
right?
it is Guard Force. Yeah.
We talked about that last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. That's what they were asking about it.
All right. Forget that solar farm stuff, folks. That was GSFI.
Oh.
That's Greenstream. Greenstream has also got a lot of attention right now for a merger deal. So
I read about a lot of things. So it would not surprise me if the Inflation Reduction Act was in here somewhere. I was just taking John's word for it. But what I know about it is the acquisitions of about 9 to 11 Chinese companies. And any kind of acquisition news, anything that's going to benefit the company is going to do well. That's why you saw it pop up 50 cents. And I think it's got a lot of attention. So if it's holding these levels, which so far it has, it's broke out of the uptrend, but that's okay. Now it needs to hold that fib. It needs to show us it's doing that support. We have buyers stepping in. And once I feel comfortable with that, I'm going to start putting my position in there myself. So I hadn't even called it out yet. That is what I was going to talk about today. Still has a lot of potential. They've got a 21 million acquisition, I think in total. That's what it'll be, 21 million. And I want to say they have an earnings report coming up soon. And I haven't seen any news on that yet. So I was trying to wait for their earnings report because I really don't think it's going to be good, with everything that's going on. So I was going to wait for that to see how it holds up. And then I was going to make my decision about the play. That's all I have for that one.
Well, we got a few minutes left here. I can show you one that you probably heard of yesterday. I think it didn't get all the love it deserved. It was kind of under the radar for as big a news as it was. You're familiar with SpaceX, right?
I love SpaceX. I really do.
Did you hear the news about them yesterday?
No. What you got?
No. All right. Let me share my screen with you then.
I've been chasing IPOs and all kinds of stuff.
Bouncy.
I'm trying to get ready for the next one.
Sidus Space, an OTC company, executes multiple launch agreement with SpaceX.
Oh, nice.
Sidus did have a jump yesterday, but it wasn't big. It wasn't very big at all. As a matter of fact, let's see here.
Well, it had been running. Do you think the market already had it priced in? Sell the news kind of thing? It's possible.
Let's see. I'm going to come down to the 20-day.
You know how they are. Yeah, look at it. They already knew. Market already knew.
Let me get this over there. Boink. There you go. So there was your jump. We had a nice big jump. Yeah, she went up, came down real hard here, hit the slow. Now, this isn't SpaceX. It's Sidus.
Yeah.
She did crush that 200, got really high up here. She jumped from about 265 to 430. So she had a nice drop. But look, by the end of the day, she was way down here. As I said, I think it was underappreciated. This company, Sidus, they make satellites with 3D printers. They're super lightweight. They're strong. They send up payloads for other companies. They do launch and support service. And they are in Cape Canaveral, Florida. That's where they have a factory where they make parts for people who need to fix their satellites.
Makes sense.
If it's space, they're doing it. So I think they're a company that is involved with the right company, SpaceX. That's a good footing to get into because God only knows where that company is going to go. Well, we know where they're going, to space. They want to take us ultimately to space so that we can do round trips as entertainment. So I think it has more it can probably do. I think it was underestimated yesterday. She showed excitement, but boy, she's way back down here again. Just an interesting piece of news I thought you might want to see.
No, that's good stuff. And I do like SpaceX. I've traded it several times. Of course, it's taken a hit. It's been beat down with the rest of the market.
SpaceX you're talking about.
Yeah, that is SpaceX. But if the Sidus, and I remember you talking about it before, especially with its location and where it is at Cape Canaveral, that's where a lot of our launches are. So there's probably a lot of companies they mingle with there. So
exactly. They're in the right neighborhood with all the right people. And they're doing something different. 3D satellite printing. I just read the other day about a steak. They got steaks now that are 3D printed. And they say Oh, they say they're damn good. They make different types of steaks. And there was a whole article out the other day about a lady in the UK that paid $36 for a flank steak. They make different types. She said the only thing that was weird was the first cut into the steak, because she had a regular knife, not a steak knife. But she says once she looked inside, it looked like pink meat. The chew was like pink meat. She says it was delicious. It was great.
I can't. Oh my gosh. See how much things are changing, you guys. And people think I'm crazy when I say AI and holograms and how your house is going to take care of your whole life one day. It's just going to be just whatever you can imagine right now is what we're going to be in. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. You're going to print your dinner. So what'd you print for dinner tonight?
Yeah. Well, I think they actually did that. I don't know if it's Back to the Future. It was something like that. They just put it in and it just ding, and there it was. It's like it printed it or it created it. You didn't put anything in. You told it what you wanted, and it came out.
Oh, so like, isn't that Star Trek's?
It might have been.
What the hell do they call that on Star Trek? Somebody knows. You could put that up there for me. I haven't watched Star Trek in years because I've seen every episode now. I've watched them enough. But yeah, they can make anything just by telling it. I want to.
What's the SpaceX ticker symbol?
What's SpaceX ticker?
I want to say it's SPCX. Let me verify that real quick.
I'll tell you in just a second here. That don't even come up. Huh. Do they have a ticker?
Yeah, I'm not crazy. Okay. SpaceX is Elon's company. Tesla, no, they're not publicly traded. That's a private owned.
That's right. That's what I was thinking. Right.
I'm so sorry. I'm thinking about a different one.
Yeah, well, it is another one of Tesla's babies, and it's been talked about going on the market. They are definitely. What is it supposed to be? The beginning of this year, 2023.
If SpaceX comes on the market, buy it. Just buy
exactly. Right. That's so ahead of the future. Elon Musk is ahead of everybody. He's pushing us to the next millennium. I like Elon Musk. He doesn't think
the market likes him. And the market's very futuristic, you guys. They really are. They love that stuff.
All right, guys. I see we're running over just a wee bit. Are there any other questions? I'll gladly take one more for overtime. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
I don't have a question. I'm a little bit mad that I can't remember the ticker that I'm actually thinking of. It's going to bother me all night.
All right.
Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, John, for having me.
We love having you, Lily. You've got a way of looking at things that I don't see, and I love listening to you talk about charts. I need to get you doing that more often. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I had a few things. Sorry. I did have a few things, John.
Well, you be sure to tell me to hush because I won't hush unless you stop me.
I didn't have any charts.
Don't being rude.
But the one, let's finish with this one real quick. The one I wanted to talk about was the CFVI with the Rumble merger. You've heard about that, right?
No.
CFVI. Rumble being the top competitor of YouTube. So that's coming up.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. Charlie Foxtrot Victor India. So
I've not even heard of Rumble.
VI. Well,
I'm so much out of the social circle.
There's a lot of YouTubers that have been banned from YouTube that are coming to Rumble. Rumble is actually paying some people that have a huge following to come to them because they can't be on YouTube, or they're taking them from YouTube, whichever. And they're doing that for advertisement purposes. You know, it makes sense.
Right.
There's a lot going on with that one. Somebody saying CVFI, yes, dang, haven't traded one since last year. Price action will speak. It will. So it's just something I wanted to bring up, though. If you haven't looked into it, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I wrote the ticker wrong. CFVI or CVFI. I think it's CFVI.
Here, I'll look it up right now just so they have it right. CF what?
CFVI. As V as Victor. Victor.
Is this CF Acquisition Corp?
Yes, it's a SPAC. It's
a
SPAC.
Yep. That's it.
They're merging. They're going to get Rumble, and that's what it's looking like.
Right now, their company is at $12.27, but the shares are only worth $10.
Worth 10.
Only worth 10. You can sell them for more, but they are only worth 10 until they close the deal. Really weird, isn't it?
It is, and the warrant is already, it's already been up higher at 425, and it's sitting at 340 right now. You can tell by that there's a bunch of people excited about this.
Right there it is, folks, just so you know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So this is another SPAC. We don't know if you like SPACs, but SPACs are hot, but you don't want to hang on to your trade for too long. Once that bad boy rips, it's like an OTC stock. It's going to come down. Every rocket does. Every rocket does. So thank you. We've got something. And when did you say this was supposed to close?
The merger is supposed to happen. They said it's supposed to approve it on September the 15th. So I look for, this to kind of have a lot of volatility and upward movement until then, at least. So September the 15th.
So we got 1 week.
Yes. And also their active users should have came out. A report should have came out recently. I haven't seen that yet. But if their active users are above 44 million, then that looks really good for them too. So I would check into that, you guys. Sorry I didn't have more information.
Oh, that's great. You know what DD to look for. 44 million viewers or more.
44 million viewers or more. And September the 15th, the merger. And once it merges and they say, yep, we did it, it's done, you could see it spike, but you'll probably see it sell off too, especially during this type of market. So just be careful. But it's a trade idea. Oh my God. Anyway,
thank you folks for showing up. We sure appreciate you being here. You make it fun. You make it interesting. You make it so we don't know what we're going to talk about. And God, I love that sometimes. Just not knowing where it's going to go.
I like changing it up, John. No scripts.
We'll see you next week. Same place, same time, same beard. See you, folks.
Bye, guys.